You're watching iCarly. I'm going to do it every time.
God, kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself.
Jonathan said, I don't know what you're talking about, Sean.
I have a vague idea, which makes me hate it even more.
Dude, iCarly?
iCarly
was dope.
Was it? Were they in like did they live in like, I don't know.
It was like a big Manhattan apartment kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Like a normal person.
Studio apartment.
Like normal, like the normal people live.
Well, no, they were like rich because I think like their parents died or something.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that the bit?
I don't know.
There's like a dark theory.
Some folks have all the luck.
Like Spencer was the only one ever watching them.
Oh yeah, yeah. And they were like the parents are dead and.
Do we know the parents are dead?
No, they don't really tell you that, so you get to infer all these things.
Is it Disney Channel?
But there's also this theory.
Nick, right?
Yeah, it was Nick.
Because I was gonna feel like on Disney, like every parent is dead.
Well, there's
at least one.
There's this theory that Spencer abducted all of the kids, except for Freddie, obviously, who lives across the hall.
Yeah.
And it's like this crazy thing.
I could buy it.
It's pretty crazy.
The edits of Gibby on TikTok that I see.
Congrats.
Gibson,
Everybody's telling you congrats.
Congrats.
Like you did something.
I didn't do nothing. They see the ring, too, and everything. They're like, whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
They said, look at that guy.
Look at him. Just look at him. We should have worn our bolos today, Sean.
We should have.
Uh-oh.
We should have.
Uh-oh. It's buffering.
We lost internet.
Oh.
Maybe.
The audio is cutting in and out. Congratulations, Sean and Skylar.
That's right.
Scon. We could just start calling you guys
Scon.
Combine you.
It's okay. Internet's just a little choppy today, boys. Let's see the ring.
We're working on hardwiring
Stainless
our
steel,
internet,
baby.
I think. Right? In there talk of some
Well,
hard wiring.
I think we're gonna run a cable. We've got to talk to the mistress of our internet because I think there's some security issues with that. That's why we're not able to. Because JP's a little goblin. He goes goblin mode
Chad
sometimes.
B says, you look beaten down and downtrodden. In other words,
Married? How'd you know?
Tom wants to see your ring. Not
Look
that
at
one.
it.
Not that ring.
Oh.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
God. Oh. Is it time? Could you do a ring made of fret wire? I feel like that'd be a very soft ring. Soft little ring. Look what Sean brought me this morning. This was a gift. A gift coffee. Caramel. 1% of their sales are donated to help kids with a Z.
Kids with a Z.
I feel like we should find out that, like, kids with a Z is probably, like, some legal term for the executives of Sheets. They're like, ha, ha, ha. That'd be really funny.
Our
actually.
kids.
No.
kids that
Like,
didn't-
we don't have kids.
The Sheets. The Sheets kids.
It's Kevin Walsh.
It's all over but the crying.
Might try to restart because it's like. It's like. I don't know why the internet's so bad.
Ooh.
Does it look fine on your end? Or is it kind
Yeah.
of choppy?
No, it
It
looks
looks
fine.
good here. Yeah. It's freezing.
It
up
looks
every
fine.
few
Yeah,
minutes.
it's doing the little circle thing every now and again.
But it hasn't done that in a minute or so. So
There are rings with strings in the ring. My fiance keeps bringing that one up to me. I have seen those, Chris Thomas. They're kind of neat looking. I can't decide if they're like neat or if they're, I just can't decide. It's gimmicky or it's like neat.
sometimes it's cool. Sometimes it's like, I don't know. I haven't decided. I think whenever there's wood involved, no. But whenever I just see the fret wire, I'm like, kind of cool.
Or without the string,
Yeah.
The
String. Sorry, not fret wire. Sorry.
You know.
I saw fret wire.
I don't know.
minute
It's cool.
ago.
It's fine. I need to get my actual wedding ring. I see in yours, and I'm like, man, it's all nice. I need to get mine all. My fingers got too fat.
My
meaty hands.
I was kind of like, I don't think I'm gonna like wearing it, but I kind of do. It doesn't bother me with guitar at all.
I like mine. Mine, I had on. I just didn't take it off for like a billion years, and then I did finally took it off, and it was like fused into my hand, and I had, and then I started wearing the little silicone ones on my left hand, and I was like, okay, but I wouldn't want to squeeze that one back on. The Mighty Woodrow says, I feel like Greg Koch has been watching the show and recently made an internet command. Listen, last night I get this notification, Woodrow, and it says there's a spam post in the Casino Crew. And I was like, what the hell is this? And so I go on there expecting to see like somebody, posting some junk for sale or whatever. And it was your thing on that. If for some reason it flagged it as a spam post. So I hit accept and let it post it. And then I promptly went and found Greg Koch saying it on Instagram and posted it as a story for Sean. Because I felt like he needed to see.
Something.
He needed to hear. He said, you'll never be as cool as Clapton was in 1968.
You're right.
He's right.
And you should definitely listen to anybody who names every product after their cock.
Yeah.
The cockness monster. Come on. Brother,
think about it.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean. I'm going to start getting into that territory of
All
that guy
of
on
Kiss's
Instagram.
fame is because they
What's that guy's name? The Instagram guy who's making fun
Marvin.
of- Yeah.
Marvin.
I'm going to get into his lane a little bit because you know what?
Oh, God.
He's right. Listen, Eric Clapton was a decent guitar player 60 fucking years ago. Okay? It's time to let it go. It's time to let it go.
The disrespect.
Let it be.
Of the youth.
Look, he's right over here. He's looking at me.
Jesus.
They can't see him.
Jesus.
I'll pull him in. Look, he's looking at us. All right? He wants to let go too. Look, he's over it.
Eric, I'm sorry.
He said, please, guys,
I'm sorry,
Please.
Eric.
let me be free.
If it was anyone else
I mean, look
besides
at him.
Sean,
Look at him.
I'd probably be punching him right now.
What's there?
Because
What
I love
do you
Sean.
mean?
I'm going to let it go.
Look at him.
I'm going to let it go.
Surrender just gave the peace sign. He's like, I'm out.
I'm out. I can't deal with this.
I mean, come on. Look at that. Like, he's
Look,
over it.
even the internet shuts you off. The internet's like, hell no.
Cock bomb bone.
Cock bomb.
I mean,
That's good.
like,
I still would wager that if you saw Clapton live in the room with you playing, you'd be like, fuck, oh. Because he's better than, like,
Jonathan, we have that every week. Customers come in, and they give us a little bit of that clap tone.
You've never seen the Clapton live.
Oh, yes, I have.
The man's flawless. He's
I've been
flawless.
to Blues Jams.
He doesn't make
Surrender
mistakes.
said
He's
Sean
flawless.
is spot on. Clapton wants to let go, man. He wants to let it
Now
be.
he might be done. He might want to.
I mean,
be let
could
go.
you imagine living your whole life with all this mob of people behind you screaming, and you're like, guys, I'm not that good. I'm just, It's like, we get it, Exactly. He's clapped off, dude. He's been clapped on.
Listen.
He's been clapped on for
He's
50
the great.
years.
Have you not seen the new Vertex video? He's the greatest influence of John Mayer.
Who cares about John Mayer?
I'm just kidding about that. That was said with sarcasm. And I love Clapton. Listen, I just don't know how you don't love Clapton. I just don't understand it.
Clapton,
I don't understand
Clapton
it.
would melt you into a puddle. I want you to ask yourself
It's true.
that
It's
to
true.
yourself. Would he melt you into a puddle? I want
Yes.
you to think about that just for a minute. And then I want you to think about every single one of Clapton's songs.
Which multi-platinum song would you like us to think about?
All of them. Because not a single one. Not a single one.
Bell-bottom blues makes me cry. That's amazing.
Makes
It's
me cry,
amazing.
too, 'cause it's like,
amazing.
fuck,
It's amazing.
For the 500,000th time.
It's amazing. The man can't help he's successful and his songs are overplayed. He can't help
You
it.
put me here.
He can't help it. I love the live cream stuff. Live cream stuff is great. All the live stuff is great. My first instructor said EC was good, but didn't expand the envelope like Hendrix did. Yeah, that's dumb. That's bullshit. Because I would say that he started the envelope. He laid the envelope out for everyone and said, "Hey, whatever you guys want to do from here, it's fine with me." Hey.
What about
Damn.
all those other people?
What about him?
Can fall out of the... Oh, dude, Surrender is rough, bro.
That is rough.
He went bang, bang.
But hey, $10 is $10, so am I right? Am I right? Pre-drug-free Clapton was great. Okay, so Clapton just needs some drugs. Just needs a few drugs in him. Cocaine.
Like, and don't get me wrong, like, I think what more so gets me is, and somebody said Clapton may not be the most complex stuff, Sean, but what he does play is clean and flawless and full of feeling. Yada, yada, yada. I think it's a little devoid of feeling compared to other players. Here's what I want to say, though, just to clear some of this air for everybody. I think Clapton is a fine guitar player. I think he's a part of the lexicon, if you will.
Guitar player,
he is in that Mount Rushmore, sure. But holy shit, it's like you say the name and no one else is allowed to be a guitar player anymore.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. No, I'm
No.
just saying. See, I don't feel that way.
Oh, I know. But he's just okay. Like, he's just okay. When your nickname is Slowhand.
I don't feel like he's just okay. I feel like he's amazing. You just gotta, I mean, there's just, the problem with Clapton, right, is there's so much work out there, right? And so obviously there's some shitty stuff, but I don't know, man. I just feel like when you see Clapton live, he's always, I don't know. I also feel like Clapton just loves it. Like, he loves the music, and I feel like that's something. But, I mean, he's no Steve Vai. He's no Guthrie Govan, He's no Timmy Henson.
Here's the thing. All of those names you just said, let's line them up with Clapton because they all have one thing in common. All those men masturbate in public. That's what we're all agreeing to here, right? All these guys jerk off in front of a lot of people.
I don't know.
This isn't a New York subway.
How much money do Surrender I need to put up to have you guys never talk about Clapton again? It's probably up there pretty good. It's probably a large amount.
I mean, it's kind of fun to get into it, too.
Oh, I'm Greg McFadden, a man after my own heart. And then we got to get into the thing you asked me about before, because that was a good one.
You're good, yeah.
Okay, hot take. 80s Clapton is much better than people give credit. Moving into his elder statesman period, he was more selective. I'm with you on that. I'm like, hell yeah, he was. But what do I know?
You just can't get away from that minor pentatonic.
He didn't have to get away from it. It was his thing, and then everyone stole it. You're damn right I said it. You're damn right. When you're first, baby. Woo! Anyways.
He did it before it was cool.
Bill G says Clapton is the reason millions of people picked up a guitar. I mean, that's true, but so is Taylor Swift, so, those are the kind of arguments that they start to fall apart probably, but.
That's right.
But, I mean, as far as guitar heroes go, Clapton might be, like, he is one of the originals.
Well, and see, that's where he does win. He was one of the originals, like I said. He's up there. It's just, I like a lot of other people in that realm, He was robbed.
The McCheese feels like that perhaps the Strat was Clapton's downfall. Then when he switched to a Strat, the douchiness began. I don't know, man.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, I feel like with him comes this...
I'm not saying he didn't have a douchey period. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, no.
I think the Strat was probably more coincidence, but
there's this weird, I don't know, once you get out of the 60s, it's like he thought, I think he really did start to stick his head up his own ass so much that he was walking around like a fucking crab. You know what I mean?
Well, you start doing hard drugs and become an alcoholic, and then everyone's saying you're God. I'm sure it does a little something to you. And then Jimi Hendrix comes and stomps your ass, and so that,
And then Jimmy Page shows up, and he's like, actually,
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And then you got Joe Walsh over there, and then all these guys start coming out of the woodwork, and you're like, oh, fuck.
What have I started?
Basil Tiffany said the racism didn't help at all. I think you're right. I think you're on a little bit. Anyways.
Him and David Bowie.
You ready?
Letting it all hang out.
Once I saw Papa Numbers chime in, I felt bad. I was like, oh man, I didn't know he was watching. It's like if my grandma was watching, I'd be like,
you gotta think about these things. You got it. No, you're a married man now.
It's just the people that I'm hurting. The people that I'm hurting with this.
Anyways, best time, Derek and Dominoes. That is what I enjoy the most. But all right, Sean, lay it out for us. Lay it out.
Okay, so hang on. Somebody's calling me.
Somebody's calling.
Okay, so here's what we got. I had a gentleman call yesterday, a very good friend and customer of ours, who called me yesterday and asked, he said, I need some help.
A quandary.
a quandary,
An issue.
an issue.
to
He said,
overcome.
I've got a fly gig that I've got to go do, and I need an ampless rig,
Oop.
and I have a pedal board that can really only hold about 4 to 5 pedals. It's a tale as old as time. We've all heard it, but he needed some kind of amp modeler on his board that was
Included in the 4 pedals.
included in the 4 pedals. So he called me to ask, first off, what modeler, and then he wanted to go delay, reverb, and an overdrive and a tuner pedal was his choice for the 4, right? Now, he ended up going with the Strymon Iridium is what we came down to. And then we did the Source Audio Collider pedal, which is that reverb and delay in one.
I'm familiar.
Now, and I'll explain some reasons why, and we'll get into this all together, I think, because there's a lot of cool ways out of this, right? He wanted one, though, that he wanted a delay reverb pedal that had tap tempo and could do a dotted eighth fairly quickly. That was one of the few that I could find that has independent delay, independent reverb, and then also a tap tempo. And a pedal housing that is somewhat reasonable that'll go onto a board that small. Because there are bigger ones that have a delay side, a reverb side, a tap tempo, everything.
I will say there's one, I didn't love that pedal. You know, I didn't like the functionality of it. We have a friend who loves it that uses MIDI, and I think if you're using MIDI, maybe it's true.
You can dial in the most of it.
I have that Wampler Catacombs. Same thing. It's delay and reverb. You can use them independently. You can have them together. You can have the right button where it scrolls through them locked together, almost like a dispatch master. You can make the right button tap tempo, or you can just make it on and off separately. And there's lots of ways to set it up.
Yeah.
But the only downside to that one that I can find is that it's a small pedal and it's doing a lot of power. So when you hit it on or off, there's like a microsecond.
I'll be right back.
Bam.
Running. Source audio.
Source audio. Sean's coming back. I don't know what's happening, but I'm kind of with you guys. I wish instead of the Iridium, I think the Tonex 1 or the Tonex in general was probably the solution. Now, someone said the ToneMaster Pro. Here's where my brain, and I kind of want to wait until Sean gets back, but that my brain did go there first. It's like, do you want an all-in-one thing like ToneMaster Pro? Or even maybe for a small fly rig like a HX Stomp XL is actually pretty cool because you can have all your amp sounds and the effects. Same thing with the ToneMaster Pro. It's just a little bit bigger, right? Because 4 pedals is pretty small. That's a pretty small board. But ToneMaster Pro would be a great solution for that. Or do you want something that like it itself is like the amp and then you're using a few pedals? If you only got 4 or 5 pedals, 4 pedals isn't that much, you know, with something like a Tonex. But you know, if all you need is a delay and a tuner and a overdrive, that's fine. But I didn't talk to Robert, so we'll find out when Sean gets back what else he put on there. But did a tuner eat up a pedal spot? It probably, well, I don't know if it did or not. Maybe he's just going to use a clip-on tuner. I always have a tuner on the old board, so because you can do it so small with the little, I like the little Polytune minis. The Polytune Mini 2 is sort of my the go-to. But anyways, I don't know. What would you guys put on there? Like, if I was going to do that, which I have done that, I do that, it'd probably be the Tonex, especially now that you can do reverbs, delays, and modulation in the Tonex. So you can actually set up channels with that. I'd probably do something like that Wampler Catacombs. If I didn't need crazy delay, I might just do like Aquapus, or I might do like Dispatch Master. And then I'd probably want some kind of dual like overdrive. So probably like the Protein would be a good choice. Kevin Walsh let me try that new one, the Ethane. That would be a great choice. Anything like that, any kind of dual overdrive. I love dual overdrives. I like the Aegis from Tontuga Effects.
So
is a good one. I've got a Petty Drive from Petty John Electronics that would work for me. What did he end up doing?
He was between the ODR and the TS10 that he had, a vintage one. So he went TS10, and then the tuner pedal in front of that.
So tuner, TS10, the collider, and the iridium.
Now, what you got to remember though too is how much space all these pedals take up.
I know, because what kind of board was he using?
I mean, it had to have been
the little junior thing.
Yeah, he said it'll only fit
Yeah.
4. Yeah,
Like the pedal strand junior. Like, I mean, okay. So Best Tiffany says good idea. So the Tonex does indeed have a tuner in it. I don't know if the Tonex 1 does. Somebody was saying Tonemaster Pro, and I was like, you could do something like that if you wanted to spend that much money. And because my first thought was you might could get away with the whole thing with like something like a HX Stomp XL.
Yeah.
You know, because it's only that big, right? And
Yeah.
then you could just throw it on that board,
That's all you
or
need.
not, or don't throw it on the board, and that you could do that.
Well,
but if you're doing something like a pedal,
Big thing that he was looking for was the touch sensitivity as close to an amp as he could find, and he felt like the Iridium had the quickest A to D to A.
see, I don't like the Iridium.
I
I've never
told him-
enjoyed it. I think, man, what I would have wanted to try for that deal is I would have wanted to try the new the Tone King.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The one that Greg has.
Oh yeah.
The
Imperial.
Like I think that if I was buying anything right now,
Yeah.
that
That
would
would be
probably be my go-to. Although I mean, those UA pedals are pretty fantastic. You only get 1 amp, right? You got to pick which amp
That's
you
what
want.
I told him. I was like,
But they're
man.
amazing, and it's hard to beat the freaking Tonex, like little
Yeah.
Tonex 1.
Well, I mean, I think, and I told him about the Tonex. I was like, you're a big fan of that. And he said, I don't have the time nor the wherewithal to be able to knock that out as soon as I need to. And I was like,
What does he mean?
Like to be able to do that thing where
Oh, well,
you capture your
you
own amp.
capture your own amps. Fuck that. You just use what's in it, you know?
Yeah.
Because honestly, even the stock stuff in the Tonex is pretty good. But if you don't like the stock stuff, $25 and you can get like I like Tone Junkie. I like that guy's captures. I downloaded all his Deluxe Reverb and Vox AC30 captures and like kind of do anything you want with those. You know what I mean? And then I have a bunch, like there's a Tone Net where it's like thousands of people have captured them and just upload them. They're free. So I got anything you can. And
See,
those, you know, you have to look through those. But yeah, I mean, just for,
If it were me,
I got to do it tomorrow, the stuff in it is pretty damn good.
I'm going between that and probably one of the UA pedals. Like I'd probably go for probably just the Dream 65.
It depends on the gig, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the safest one.
That to me is like it's going to get me. I can cover as much ground as I need to, and then I can have a drive pedal that'll get me dirty.
I think the Enigmatic was a cool one too.
I think
that
so,
you probably could get away with setting it clean if you had to do it that way. But also that the Lion
Yep.
sounds amazing.
Lion sounds
I mean,
awesome.
you gotta kind of need a dirty thing for that one, right? But I don't know. There's so many good options. But I would really be intrigued by the Tone King thing, especially after I feel like Greg is an evangelist for the Tone King one. Do we have any D28s in stock? Why, yes, we do. And you know, one of the D28s we have is the old Billy Strings edition. Now I gotta say, I didn't enjoy that when it came in, but I played it again yesterday.
And look at him now.
And I
Look
was
at
like,
him now.
Holy crap! It is funny how acoustic guitars do that, right? Like I don't know. It's a lot of things. A lot of things change, but yeah, that's a good guitar. Derivative boring hasn't advanced his chosen form past where he found it.
Who said that?
Our dear friend Matt.
Oh.
I'm assuming he's still talking about Clapton.
Clapton. I mean, listen, we can go on all day. Somebody asked, what's the latest Fuzz buzz? That was Mayor McCheese asked, sorry. What's the latest Fuzz buzz? What's on the board this week for Fuzz Johnny? We got to get back to Fuzzy Pickle talk, dude.
Listen. I still, I love the pickle. Pickle's great. I got to have some pickup talk too because I had a bit of a revelation this week. Just the other day.
He had a
If
revelation.
I'm glowing, if I look different, it's because I'm enlightened now. Despite all you Clapton haters, I'm not going to let it get me down. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Pickle's great, but thanks to our dear friend Kevin Walsh, everyone's our dear friend this morning. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I have now found the wonders of the way huge javelina fuzz.
It's pretty dope.
And I'll be darned if it is not amazing.
Sounds pretty sick.
I mean, listen, I like tone benders anyways, right? But I've never found the one. I almost bought that JHS, the Legends of Tone or whatever they called them.
Yep.
Tone bender one. The bender. It was really good too.
I own the bender.
But man,
It's a
the
good pedal.
javelina.
Yeah.
I would be interested to know with the whole germanium thing. You know, germanium is a funny little thing, right? Like some of those pedals with germanium in them sound different, like on a hot summer day than they do on a nice cool fall day. And I'd like to know. I'd like to take that thing to some different environments and see if it changes that way. But all the reviews I've read, and I haven't really played around with it like on my board enough to know. I've just kind of put it between the amp and the guitar. Say that it plays really well with a wah and a buffer and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So, because not all fuzzes do.
Have you tried throwing it in the freezer?
If Kevin Walsh says I can freeze this pedal, then I'll do it. I'll do it. Do you use fuzz and wah together? How much of your fuzz decisions are based on your wah? Like, none of my fuzz decisions are really based on my wah. But I make all those decisions sort of on the fly. Like, if I'm at a gig tomorrow and I'm like, you know what, I think I'll turn on these. This is why MIDI and, like, people have always asked, like, because I sing and play a lot.
Yeah.
So, like, the switcher, I like to be able to tweak and concoct as I go. Because just because I used these two pedals on this song yesterday
Doesn't mean it's gonna.
doesn't mean. I don't know. I've always been that way, probably to a detriment.
Yeah.
Honestly, I probably should plan it out better, but I don't like to plan it out. So, you know, I might just decide, you know what, feels like a wah day. It's Wednesday. It's wah Wednesday. And I don't make any of those decisions based on that.
I'm a big, if I'm using a fuzz pedal, I'll do a cocked wah trick to be able to get some different tonal, tonal elements out of the fuzz pedal instead of it just being the same thing over and over. I like that. That's just me though.
Well, I did. What's your pal's name? The young guy that was a good guitar player with the long blonde hair.
Oh, David.
David.
Yeah.
David gave me a great compliment at First Friday. He said that my money for nothing tone was closer than most he hears.
On a Strat, right?
God bless us all, because the secret is, got to cock that wah.
Wah, wah, wah,
Gotta
wah,
cock it.
wah,
Cock that thing.
Cocked wah sounds are really good. I don't think it gets enough credit. And the same way that, like, having it like wide open, like you just click the pedal on.
Bam.
That's it. And it's like, woo, and you got like this high cut.
You got to find that right.
That's right. You can pull it back
Just a hair. But
a
no,
little bit.
I will say this, right? You know how there's been various pedals that are trying to emulate that?
Yep.
I don't know that I've ever played one that really does it exactly the same as just having the wah.
Yeah.
I just have the wah.
But
Even if you don't ever go wah, 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 just being able to like sweep through that filter, man, and find it is kind of awesome.
I think it's a better use of that pedal to be able to find the frequency rather than wah, 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 Like, don't get me wrong. There are people who do wah, wah, wah really well. There's a lot of greats out there.
The secret to wah, wah, wah and well is to rarely wah, wah, wah.
Yes. You can't do it.
If every other song you're thinking, you know what this solo needs? A little wah. If every solo you like get to the thing and then you're like wah, wah, wah.
wah. No.
Don't do it. Because it's been done.
You can do it,
But
you can do it once. And you know what I love to do? This is a trick
and it's
I would
amazing if you
live.
do it like once. And if you're playing a 4-hour set, you can do it a handful of times. You can do it twice.
Before going into my solos, I used to do this thing where I'd cut the wah on, pull it back, volume's down. And I'm about to come in, right? But I come in on the wah. So I come in, I put my whole foot on it, yes, and then I lean in and go for a bend, and then cut the pedal off, and you're in a really cool spot. There's a lot more to a wah pedal than just wah, wah, wah.
Okay, Tom Beatty says, do you make funny wah faces when you rock the pedal? Yes, you gotta make the like vowel sounds with your mouth or it doesn't work. Everyone knows that. But listen, here's what I'm gonna say. I think you were about to go here because you said there's a lot more to a wah. I think that we're not doing enough wah rhythm.
Yeah.
Wah solos are fine.
Wah rhythm is
And it
hard.
doesn't have to just be wah, wah, like, 70s
No, you
porn
go
kind of soundtrack. It can be
wah.
like the slow.
Wah.
No, well, you can do that, but you can go wah, and like make these crazy textures with the slow sweep. That's actually
that.
awesome.
What
and
I
and no
love-
one will even know it's a wah.
A lot of people, I think, go and they always assume that you got to sweep forward with it, right?
You don't.
I love to sweep back into the darkness.
There used to be some that you could like, reverse. You know what I mean? And it's actually on some modelers where it's digital. You know what I mean? You can make, and that you get some funky stuff like that.
Different
it's
feel.
A totally different feel.
Yeah.
There was a god awful Digitech pedal. I don't know why I was in a Digitech phase. This was like 20 years ago, so don't judge me too
Listen,
harshly.
Digitech has made some pretty wild and fun
They made
stuff.
some amazing, but I'm talking about these are like the multi-effect, like the RP 500. Like
I'm saying even with that.
Even with that, it was cool. And back then, I just didn't understand yet. But
didn't
they
know.
had some effect, and one of you guys will know. Like it didn't say wah, it was a different thing it said, and they called it something.
Woo.
It was something dumb like that, and it was like, oh my god. But I don't know, it was really fun. But anyways, the auto wah is underappreciated. I can get down on some auto wah stuff occasionally.
Every once in a while.
I get bored really quickly.
It's kind of
you
like
know.
an envelope filter pedal. You always assume it's going to do something really cool, and then it's just like, oh.
If it's set up with the dynamic, like if you dig in more, it does it faster or like more. That's cool because you can control
getting
it.
closer to like a rotary sound, you know,
Yeah.
which I dig.
Man, I just love rotary sounds.
Yes.
Same thing. You can't use it too much, but when it's right,
Yes.
Whew.
When like envelope filters, I think
envelope,
either way,
envelope filters.
Whenever you
I don't know how you say it.
whenever you see people use those, and I feel like jam bands, and I don't mean bands with songs that jam. I mean jam bands. They go and
He's
they
looking
take,
at you, Goose.
They take a damn pedal like that, and they beat the hell out of the thing, and like use the same damn sound.
It is funny how that becomes such a thing in that world, right? I mean, it happens in every world, right? Because like for a while it was the wah in like certain rock things, and it was like okay, and then it happens in every genre, but it's like really noticeable.
Yes.
It happened kind of with like the old phasers and the Wayland stuff, you know.
Phasers in country.
Although
chorus and pop music, you know.
I gotta say, when we had that Wayland telly and we demoed at the Rooster
Pretty
with
dope.
Baxter playing drums behind me like a crazy man, that was maybe some of the most fun I've had with that
dope.
Wayland phaser. And then some people were like, "It's country music. Why's it got a phaser on?" I'm like, "Oh my god."
You don't know what country music is.
Oh.
That's what the problem is. Go listen to Gavin Adcock.
Oh my God.
Asshole.
Todd Roy says, I had to stop using my wah. I use it too much sometimes. I mean, that gets us all. I've told you guys a story before of when my first little band, I actually took the bass player's bass wah, put it in my closet.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Because I was a dictator. I ruled with an iron fist.
Hell no. Let me tell you
I
something.
was like, you can have this back.
I've seen.
He was a good dude too, Duncan.
You see a bass player doing a bass solo with the bass wah. It's not. It's more than a sin. That's like. That deserves capital punishment, as in taking the pedal away and locking it
That's
in your
mine
closet.
now. That's right. It's mine.
Give it here.
Listen,
Give it over.
I still have a split in the toenail of my big toe because Duncan stepped on it when we were playing basketball one time.
Yep.
And I feel like that was me taking his bass wah and that. He probably doesn't even know that. He's watching. Hope you're watching today. Duncan is a good dude.
If it makes you feel any better, he didn't sell it. He threw it away.
No, he got it back eventually. He got it back. Chorus is one of those things that I used to hate, and I kind of feel like I'm starting to appreciate it.
I think
Again,
chorus
you know.
has this thing where it keeps flipping and flopping. Every 10 years, it comes back. But that's because before the 10 years of gap that we had without chorus and everybody hating it, we had 10 years of everybody absolutely overusing the shit out of it.
Well,
Every
that happens with
song
everything,
had
right?
chorus.
That's
Yes.
why is maybe going to come back like that. You know what I mean? Like, who
Yeah.
knows? Well, like I did, and I know, like, okay, when I first started playing, I'm talking about like months in, right? Actually, the first months I didn't have any kind of amp.
Yeah.
I just played my little Squire at home, and I would go to the guitar store to plug in. Which I'm sure now I'm like, man, they probably hated me. But anyways, I got in my head that I needed a pedal.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what kind of pedal. And our guitar store, like it had like Dan Electro pedals and stuff. But
But they had a crybaby wah pedal too,
no,
baby.
no. I go in this pawn shop, and right there in purple, Boss Flanger, and I'm like, whoo,
BF, dude, the BF3.
Yeah, I don't even think it was that. But anyways, I bought that thing, and for a while, everything sounded like a jet airplane. You know, the thing where it sounds like, and I was like, yes. And then now I kind of hate flangers as a result. But it was just because it was my own doing. It was my own
That's hilarious.
sins and bad decisions. And then you remember when Paul Gilbert was all into the jet flanger thing, and everything was that jets flying over. I think his was the Ibanez, the jet flanger thing.
I mean, flanger can wear on a man. You know what I mean? It can take your soul.
Do you remember when Earthquaker was like, we're making a 0-point flanger, and it was like, supposed to be.
It was gonna be insane, and then like hearing it though and playing around with it, I was like, flanger's kind of dumb. Like it's cool and it can be really cool, but then there's times where you play a flanger and you're like, this is stupid.
I just feel like they put so much into that.
Nick Ramble says, who the F is Paul Gilbert?
Exactly.
He's the guy that uses Fletcher.
I do like his little slide on magnet on his pickguard thing, though.
Oh, yeah, that is cool.
Kind of neat. Paul Gilbert, though, is actually he's one of my favorite, of the shreddy dudes, probably. I feel like he's gotten kind of eccentric in his old age.
Yes,
but I still like him. He's a fun eccentric.
Yes, he's like just having fun all the time. To where Steve Vai went through a period where I thought he was going a little too serious, and he's lightened up over the years. But then you got guys like Satriani who are like, no, I'm sorry, nothing against him. He's a fine player. He's a good guy, but I'm like, brother.
I just remember seeing a video of Paul Gilbert. This was probably 15 years ago. And he was talking about, they were talking about all these old rock songs that influenced him, right? And he starts talking about like Leonard Skinner. And basically, I think he does some song and basically plays all the parts. Like an amalgamation of all 3 guitar parts. And I was like, whoa, makes me happy. And I was like, I now love Paul Gilbert. But I also was like, man, you could take a trio and do a lot of, just because you think these songs have all these parts, you can
condense it down.
Smush them together.
Good.
Make
it
in
good.
the old trio, which I love the power trio format, but in my old age, I am starting to have the hankering to play in a giant band with keys and maybe multiple guitars and singers. And
you know what it takes, man? It takes some of that kickback, you know what I mean? I'm going to need to see Johnny doing some of this. Guitar behind the back, holding onto the microphone.
I'm into it.
Oh, I know you are. I know you got it in you. Johnny's going to pull his big balls out on the stage, dude. He's going to be like,
never.
Back down in Avalon.
Never would I.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
It's going to be great.
A lot like Clapton does.
Yeah, right. He won't shut up the whole time.
Clapton never plays, dude. He's got old Derek Trucks and what's his name? I would have liked to sing that when it was Derek Trucks and Doyle Bramble the third laying it down. Okay, Homegrown Son says he was the first person to interview Satriani when he cut the hair off, and he used to have curly. Yeah, I remember when he used to have the long curly hair. Oh, that's kind of cool.
It's pretty dope. Pretty dope. How was he? Was he a nice enough guy? Jonathan Springsteen. That's what I'm talking.
What?
That's what I'm talking about.
You lost me.
Be the boss.
You lost me.
Be the boss, Johnny.
Oh, I'll be the boss, all right.
He's gonna be the boss.
I'll be the boss.
You guys didn't realize.
Nick, don't worry. I don't really want any. I've never been a horn guy. Sean and Baxter sort of love horns. And I'm not saying that a well-placed horn isn't nice.
The problem is,
I love the
you
B3. I love keys.
paying for a whole dude on the horn section for him to go dude every once in a while. That's a lot.
You'd have to have a band to make it make any sort of sense.
That's a lot.
To it had to be like every song would have to be horn stabs, and I don't enjoy it as much. I just don't enjoy it so much.
I get you.
Second solo in Knocking on Heaven's Door, Guns N' Roses. What accounts for that guitar screaming quality? It's like the guitar is frying vocal cords. I mean, it's probably just that Marshall being begging
Cranked.
for mercy.
He's spanking that baby.
And probably some combination of that and pickups. But I have to go listen to it to see if there's something else going on. Can't think of it off the top of my brain. Joe Satriani's Reverence. Oh, I lost it. I hate when it jumps. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, his reverence for Eddie Van Halen is pretty special. Him and Sammy helping keep EVH's legacy alive is pretty fucking awesome. That is cool. I tell you, whose reverence and ability to play that stuff has made me respect them on a whole new level is old Dweezil.
Dweezil, yep.
Dweezil Zappa. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I've never like not respected Dweezil Zappa, but you know, it's like Zappa plays Zappa. That kind of makes sense, right? But then realizing that he sort of grew up like learning from Eddie and can like knows that stuff intimately on his YouTube channel is kind of amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people in the know knew that probably.
Yeah.
It's just that's not necessarily my main world that I live in, and so
him and
seeing that is cool.
Another one being Nuno Bettencourt. I think both of those guys
Nuno.
post Van Halen like passing. Those
Old
guys have
Nuno
kind of stepped in, like,
couldn't play my Rihanna gig Bettencourt. That was funny. Remember that was like for a moment. That was all the drama.
That was the drama, dude. It was the tea. And now look at
Old R. Fortis was ready to fight.
You know who I didn't see at the Back to the Beginning concert? Richard Fortis.
No!
But you know who I did see?
But you know what, though, man? I feel like Richard Fortis is like a working man's guitar player. Starts out being sideman, can play his ass off, and then lands a gig in Guns N' Roses.
I like Mr. Fortis.
I do, too. And
I refer to him as such, Mr. Fortis.
And listen, the man plays a Gretsch into a Magnetone.
What's not to like? By
the way, my enlightening. And this is something I knew already, but it took me screwing it up to like make me remember. So I was playing some guitar. I was playing the old Falcon, and it's just quieter. Those are just quieter pickups than most of my other guitars, right? So me, being the brilliant tinkerer that I am, said, you know what? I'm going to raise these pickups up a little bit. We're going to see what happens.
Next thing you knew.
Did it, went on my way, forgot about it. The last little bit, I've been like, man, the Gretsch just doesn't sound right. Like, it doesn't sound good with overdrive. There's something honky about it. And then I don't know, the other day it hit me, it was like, oh, you have not really enjoyed this thing like tonally.
Since you raised
I play that guitar on the couch almost every night. It's kind of amazing. It's got 11s on it. It like walks the weird line between acoustic and electric, right?
Yeah.
But so I started thinking about it. I didn't have those pickups anywhere near like the where they're like pulling the strings.
Yeah.
But just raising them, man, it got rid of all of the high-end shimmery part, and it was nothing but bass and mid-range.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucked. And so I dropped them back down last night. Like, this was all happening like at 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh my God, because I don't know if you guys are OCD like me, you know, like, or like on the way when you get something in your brain like that, you just can't not do it. You can't rest until you go do it. So I'm like out in my building trying to find a screwdriver, dropping the pickups down. And right back to happiness. Right back to happiness. So it's just, and I think about through my guitar career, like journey, of how many times I've gotten like sort of out of love with a certain guitar or traded a guitar. And I wonder if sometimes out of ignorance, I did dumb things like that. And I was like, oh, this sucks now. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's a pedal or a guitar. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of funny. Even if you think about that, and I'm viewing this from the point of knowing a good bit of your guitar history. You, I think right now, have better guitars than you've ever had. 1,000%. In your whole career. 100,000%. Nashville, touring, anything. No. Right now, you have like a top of the line. I had some really good guitars before the incident in Nashville. Yes. But yeah, right now I would put them against any. And probably the only point in my life where I'm like, man, I don't really get rid of, like, all these guitars are here, like keepers. Yeah. There's not a single guitar that you have that is just what I'll call a fuck off guitar. You know? I mean, the Falcon is the closest thing. The closest thing. And it's still a great, like, if you looked at it from a recording standpoint, you have guitars that'll do every single thing that you would ever need, which I think is really cool. It's kind of fun.
nothing worse than the sound of an unplugged electric on the couch. He said, get you a small body acoustic. I only play my electrics on the couch. I don't even own an acoustic guitar.
I mean, I'm not trying to make beautiful sounds on the couch. I'm just
Yeah, no.
like trying to, not wake up my children and wife while I watch some stupid movie on the,
Yeah.
or the first episode of Alien Earth on
Dude,
Hulu.
we watched it last night.
Did you?
Wow.
Yeah, Baxter basically said we were
talked us
fired if we
into
didn't
it.
watch it.
Yeah.
He's like,
wow.
go home and watch it or else. It was
It's pretty good.
It was pretty good. I was impressed. I can't remember if I started the second episode or not. But anyways, it doesn't matter. The first one was pretty good. It left a lot of questions. That's the best kind of first episode
Yes.
where you're like, oh,
What's
you're
happening?
intrigued. What? Like, I
going
don't know what's
on?
going on here.
Synthetic people.
But no, man, I've always enjoyed playing. Like, if I want to play acoustic, I'll play acoustic. But if I want to work on things like, that are electric in nature. But like I said, the Gretsch actually is nice because it actually has a pretty nice, it's a fully hollow guitar. So it doesn't sound like an acoustic, but it's, it's pleasant. It's quiet still. And I have, like I said, I have 11s on it. So it's kind of it's a different feel. I feel like it's hard enough that it's a bit of a workout for like electric guitar stuff. And if I want to play acoustic-y stuff, it doesn't feel too slinky.
Yeah. No, I get
Because
that.
11's on a 25.5-inch scale.
Yeah. I swapped mine around for that very reason, just for like practice sake. Give my fingers a different kind of workout.
Yep.
I think it's good.
Let's see. Tom said if I wanted a big band, I think Tom said this, to do a Molly Hatchet tribute. I feel like that would be fun. I don't know. I feel like ever since this reinforced this to me. I've always sort of felt this way. When I had kind of resigned myself that I was going to try to do that Leonard Skinner tribute thing, and then turned out to be drama and sort of craziness, so I never did it. I just have no desire to be in a tribute band.
I don't either.
Cover band is fine, right? Like, I can do things and make it my own or whatever, but I enjoy that. But I just don't think I want to be in a tribute band.
No, I thought about it at one point, and I was like, that could be kind of fun, I guess.
And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, if you enjoy that, that's just not the part of playing that I enjoy so much. And God knows it's good money. Like, it's probably the best way to make money right now, honestly, as a musician, just for the average. I mean, like, even like we saw the Fish tribute for Baxter's birthday.
Yeah.
And that's fun. I bet they make bank.
I'm sure.
Like,
yeah, and I mean, if you're, I don't want to say like checked out, but if you're like, if you want to be able to make money and you want to do something that, I think you have to have, and I think a lot of people who do tribute shows would agree to this. I think you have to have this thing where you get into the fandom idea and you get into the idea of playing this role, like you actively want to play this on stage as acting, almost as theater.
And I think it's got to be a band that you probably, well, maybe not for everybody. I think it's one of two things. Either it's a band you just idolize and love, right?
Yes.
Which was kind of why I was like, okay, I could do Skinner. That'd be fun, And I really enjoyed like the Steve Gaines, Ed King parts, which is what I was going to get to play. And then the other part is if you're the personality where you just love recreating a thing.
Yes.
Like perfectionist. And I kind of, probably to my detriment sometimes, am more like, I just kind of want to do it this way. And I want to do it a little different every night. Yeah. So, like, some people hate that, right? Yeah. And neither's right or wrong. It's just a personality thing. It's just what you prefer, and so. That's
where I say I think there are people who just have that personality. Like, we got a Canadian friend who's going to be coming down to do a tribute show. I think he's doing Roy Orbison. He does Roy Orbison, Johnny Cash, Buddy Holly, somebody else. He does a handful, but Frankie Valli, that's the other one. But he does all those, and he gets fully into character, wigs, the whole nine. Makes good money.
Crazy money,
But the thing there is, like, that's what he enjoys. Like, he doesn't care about writing songs.
In that one, right, you're almost an actor as much as you are.
And that's what I mean.
And that's kind of neat if that's what you love. And I almost think, part of me thinks, man, something like that, where it's not so guitar-centric, where it's not like Leonard Skinner or Allman Brothers tribute or something, might even be more fun. Put on a suit and go play something that's kind of maybe
Yeah.
not simple or easy, but just like
Well, if you're doing Johnny
you're in like a
Cash,
big or like a soul
like,
band or like
yeah.
a R&B kind. Yeah, I mean that would be kind of fun.
Well, you
know?
wouldn't like, and that's one of those things where having a catalog of songs and then also having this personality, because we're talking about big personalities too. Like Johnny Cash on stage is a big personality,
Yeah.
and being able to kind of live and embody that is its own challenge, but it's also its own fun, you know. So I don't know.
By the way, if you're nearby, October 11th, we're doing another show at the Sunrise. It's called Moco Rising this time, right? Baxter is one of the main folks. I think Sean and I are both playing with him. He's gonna do some originals.
Yeah.
He's gonna do a few covers.
Yeah.
Not a great, there's a long set, like a 25-minute set, but there's a guy named Elijah McCormick who's playing, Julia Golden's playing, and then the big headliners are Craig and Pat Fuller. Craig was in Pure Prairie League and wrote the song Amy. He happens to live in Pinehurst, so
He also
he's
did
playing.
some work with the Little Feet. too,
Well, and then later he was in Little Feet as well.
There you go.
Like, so he was in Pure Prairie League, original member, wrote Amy, wrote lots of songs, but Amy's the one everybody knows. And then, and then I believe at the end everyone's going to come out and sing Amy with him. I am the poor sap who is the house band director, so I'll coordinate all those things. But it'll be cool to see Baxter do a
people
set
into the damn position
of his own
dude.
stuff.
I'm gonna give you hell the whole way through, dude. I'm gonna be like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
There's ways of dealing with things like that.
I'm gonna get you a bullwhip,
Bamboo
dude.
shoots under the fingernails. Don't worry. I've got my methods. But yeah, no, that should be a lot of fun.
We may record it. I'm gonna see, and we'll talk to Sweet JP, and I know the gentleman who'll be running the board that I'll have to knock around in the head to get him to get the sound right.
Dude. Tom, not you,
Not you, Tom.
but I
wish it was Tom.
I wish it was Tom, too.
I know, 'cause
Tom,
then
can
at
you
least
come
we
here
could
and
be
run
like-
sound for us? Can you just be our
yes.
all-the-time sound guy?
I would be talking to somebody who has ears on their head.
I feel like I could trust Tom.
Oh yeah, and I
You
think
know.
we could have a conversation with Tom
Yeah.
to say, hey man, can we try this? And you would be like,
And
yeah.
then he'd say, no. Here's why. That's stupid.
Well, hey, that works too.
I'd be fine
I
with
can
that.
live with that.
I could live with that too. It's just when you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Whenever somebody's giving you, whenever they're feeding you bullshit out of the damn.
I feel like, and I
Terrible
don't know
bullshit.
this, but I feel like Tom would be one of the few guys that you're like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Like I have a handful through the years of regular sound people I've worked with, and I'm like, yes.
You know what I think it is?
My dear friend Jack Donald Wooten,
Let
amazing.
me ask you this: does he play music?
Yes.
I think in order to excel in running sound, and I say this only having seen people who don't do anything musically at all show up to run sound, and it's just like, what the hell are you doing? Have you ever heard music
Well,
before?
there's that thing, which we're going to run into here soon. Not to, but then at the risk of making anyone angry, but I'm going to try to explain this so that it's not so offensive. Like, I've actually had one of the sound folks that I love, I don't think plays music, but was still amazing, right?
There's one that I can think of too.
But I think the other ones fall into this category of there are some guys who play music and know like what they want to hear and what it sounds like, and they're just like happy and like they're happy that it's music, and they're just
good.
they're happy to be in it. And then there's guys who like play music and it's like they've taken the thought that like almost like a bitterness.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what makes it all miserable.
And the fact that you're on stage and they're not, and there's this spite thing, it's like,
which
it's
means
weird.
really nothing.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really mean anything. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't mean that like, oh, you're not good because you're doing that end of it. Like because
no.
I would be lost doing that end of it. Like
Well,
for the most part on a large scale, not on a small scale, but on a large scale. So I don't know.
It comes down to what's it mean to be on a team, because that's how I always viewed it. Whenever I was running Sound of the Rooster, it's like, no, this is a team thing, man.
Dude.
I got to make sure that I'm doing you justice because you're up there tonight playing.
Tom just said Tom, this cements it for me that Tom knows. He says when a band brings a studio engineer with them to run
Yes.
sound, it's the word. My God,
Completely different thing.
or when like the guy at the venue, you can tell he's an engineer, studio guy. He says they take forever and they don't understand live audio. My God, that is no truer words.
What I don't understand is, because I do both, right? What I don't understand is how there's people out there who don't see them as being these two different things. Because a live sound is not a studio sound. Because in the studio, we can do a lot of weird things. We can do a lot of crazy shit. You know, you can mic things up and get into these really intricate ways of doing it, phasing issues, things of that nature. But whenever it comes down to live audio, it's about the room. It's about how much you're pushing, you know, through those house speakers. What can you spare? I think there's not enough live sound engineers who understand that it's okay to let an amp lift and do a lot of that heavy work.
And then sound reinforcement.
Yes.
Which is what it used to be.
Yes.
Right? Mayor McChee said it, bring back the wall. I'm with you.
Well, I mean, that's a part of it, you know, and it's like whenever you do that, and then you have, like, the way that I ran it at the Rooster was amps on stage should be heard throughout the room. If I need to cock it up so that
But they're
it's
so
even
directional, right? Like, then you fill it out a bit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying, neither of us are saying
No.
blow anyone's head off or, like, you know,
No.
run at 110
That doesn't
decibels
mean
all the time.
10.
No. I mean, you got to still have sort of the right
Yes.
amp, and you got to run it at the right
But
spot.
the way that I viewed it
You know?
was the overheads are for a little bit of that ambient noise from the amps and stuff like that. So I'm pushing just a little bit. And then the idea is those are the vocal amps. I need the vocals to be above.
I
and
also
over.
don't mind, like, you know, the close miking thing. I like the mic a little back. I don't mind a little bleed. Like, it's all, you know what I mean? I know it gives you less, like you just got to do it right. But
Yeah.
but those things are all, you know, it's just making it all happy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Greg says lots of these types of gigs here in the Branson shows. You can be Elvis's band in the morning, CCR around 2 o'clock, and a metal tribute that night. Now, that might be kind of fun. And I also feel like Branson is probably similar to, like, playing in Nashville, where it's you're going to play, and it might not be the stuff you absolutely love to play, but you almost get to treat it like a 9 to 5. Like, it's just your work day, and then you go home and sleep in your bed, and that's kind of nice. And I imagine that is the allure of being a musician in Branson, other than it's a place where there's this congregation of probably world-class musicians, which is, again, what was kind of awesome about, or one of the things that was kind of awesome about Nashville. Tom says it's all about understanding what can go wrong and how to find and execute and fix it in seconds without disrupting the band's stage vibe. Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
When it's not panicking and getting frustrated with the people around you. Like, usually, what's funny enough, the times that I've been most frustrated running sound are whenever I'm at a blues jam and somebody stops me while I'm fixing a problem to tell me the most mundane, stupidest thing I've ever heard. Prime example. I'm hooking up all the things on stage. We're running between bands. Keyboard player wants to play. So I'm hooking him up. I just plug him into DI boxes. I'm going back to the soundboard to unmute it. I can't tell you how many times this happened, and by the end of it, I was about ready to just start slapping the shit out of people. Somebody would grab my arm and they would stop me. And they would say, hey, he can't hear himself on stage right now. Can you go get the keys right? And I looked at him. I got to the point where I told somebody this. And I said, you see me plug in those 2 boxes in front of the keyboard? And they're like, well, yeah. I was like, that's what I was going to do. So why the fuck are you managing me right now? Like, why can't you shut your mouth? And it was always a guitar player. I kind of just wanted to be like, why the hell aren't you shutting the fuck up and sitting down? I think there are more people who fuck up sound guys than anybody else. If everybody would just stay the hell out of the way sometimes, shit would get done.
That is a you know, yeah, that's a pretty good.
Yeah.
Everyone has a 2 cents to throw in
Oh my
sometimes.
God.
And in the heat of it, even if you're right,
Yes.
that's probably not the time.
It's like,
Do you know what I mean?
It's like, back the hell up, dude. Like,
Mary McChee said spicy Sean's activated.
exactly.
We hit a nerve.
That stuff right there, that used to drive me insane.
Tom
Like,
says, Sean, have you ever been a monitor engineer? I do love when shows are big enough that I get monitor guy, you know, like just the monitor guys, and then front of house, I could give, you know, I care less. I mean, I do care about it, but like in your little world right there, you're just looking across the side stage at the monitor guys, you know, in front of house out there doing his thing.
Yeah.
Other than when he checks you or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's always nice.
No, I've never been a monitor engineer. Everything that I've ever worked has been small enough where it's usually either just me or I'm aiding one person. So, you know, it's like 2 people max.
Mighty Woodrow's getting dangerous or flying too close to the sun. He says that's the same guitar player that insists on having their rig at the blues jam.
Yes. And whenever we say their rig, we're talking they need to have their crazy ass amp, their nuts pedal board,
And it
their guitars.
The thing I hate about that is it takes you an hour to set it. You know what I mean? Like
when
we had our blues jam, like I did have my rig because I was hosting, right? So I would put my junk over there.
Who played it after you?
Whoever
plugged it.
But every blues jam I've ever been to, not in that scenario, I just walk up and play. Now,
Bring your guitar. That's fine.
when I used to go to the Low Country Blues Jam thing in Charleston forever ago, I would often get stuck plugged into this like clean little Mesa Boogie that couldn't get loud enough to have any dirt to it,
Yeah.
and it had no balls, and I think it probably needed tubes. But without fail, I'd always get with some old guy because I was the young guy back then. You know what I mean? It was like God. So I would bring this one little drive pedal that I would throw down, and I would like fall all over myself to like, but you know, like, my God, you know, and I'd have the cable plugged into it in my guitar. I'd throw it on the floor, plug the cable into it. It had battery in it, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. You know, no tweaking, no.
You see
just
that
go.
right there is that's okay. An amount of haste to say, and you're working for the sound guy. You're like, I got you. I'm gonna hook you.
I want to make this painless, you know?
flawless, smooth,
Yeah.
boom. There are so many people who are taking their time. They're like, oh, I don't know.
Sean Briggs said these old men and their Mesa Boogies. It is funny that has become a thing. Like they were the purview of young people for the longest time, and now a certain era of Mesa Boogie
Mark
belongs
V.
to the old men. If they got faders on them,
They got faders on them. You know who it is.
You know who it is. Hey, and nothing wrong with them. Some of them sound great.
I like to think all those young people like hyper aged real quick. Like it went like boom.
It was carrying all those heavy ass Mesa Boogies. It aged them.
That's right. JP knows.
Aged them
everything.
up. Build RV7, our dear friend Con, says, is the Neon Rooster still going? Saw a post about a new jam light location. It's not really going in that capacity, you know, like, so they just kind of changed some gears and you know, Derek got a lot going on, spread thin. So now it's more going into like the live recording sort of, you know, way of things. But the new jam night or the new location is a program that Scott Grote, our friend, is kind of heading up, and it's a little different. I think his is a more of like a community, like educational. Like there's an open jam night, a blues night, a mentor night, which I think is the community education kind of thing. Where like if you're a young musician and you want to come and you know have some tips or pointers or encouragement or whatever. And then there's I forget what the fourth week is. I don't. It might
like
be
I think it's supposed
like
to be
a
like
catch-all
a
R&B, like more
rotating
like
night.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah. I want to say thank you to Tom. I'm gonna run next door to
Oh yeah.
shop.
You want me to do it? You
No,
got it.
You good? Run it.
Run this thing.
Don't run the train into the ground.
Run it
honey.
into the ground. But yeah, man. The Mighty Woodrow said, I just love plugging into what was there and see where it takes me on the blues. You see, that is fun, right? Because it makes you play a bit. When you got your own rig, you kind of play your own way. And if you plug into somebody else's rig and the sound's different, I feel like you do something different. Mary McShee says, who's behind the camera these days? Thank you guys, doing a great job. Behind the camera is our dear friend JP. He is doing a great job. He's crushing it. He's editing a lot of the new videos that are out. Well, all the new videos that are out. And yep, doing a great job. So, and we're still working. We're still trying to change and improve, and you'll probably see us experiment with junk and lights and all that kind of stuff because we don't know what we're doing. We're just figuring it out. But we appreciate all you guys, just for hanging in there with us and telling us when we're dumb. I feel like Joe Bonamassa's shows are basically a blues jam where he brings his rig and doesn't let you play. To be fair, in all those like videos that you see of guys who like go and like, I got to play through Joe Bonamassa's rig. Looks like he does let people play through it in the beginning, But it does seem like that. Yeah, that's it. Start a rooftop jam like the Beatles. I mean, that would be actually really fun. We've had a few rooftop jams here at the Guitar Shop. A good jam host has decent gear to play. That is very true. And most of the jams I've ever been to had decent gear, and the Low Country Blues Jam was no exception to that. I just, I probably me now who understands amps a little better and gear and tones, slightly at least, would have probably done better at that blues jam, just figuring out how to get a sound straight into that amp. But, what are you going to do? I think a blues jam put on by Casino, for example, where you have 2 rock amps in a custom shop would be sick. Play the best gear. That would be kind of neat, It's tricky, man, because the gear at the jams does take a bit of a beating, whether you want it to or not. The amps you could kind of isolate from that. The guitars a little less. But that, maybe that would just be something where we would donate it and they would just be for that. We basically sort of partnered with those blues jams at the Rooster. It was all sort of tied into one. Obviously, Derek owns the Rooster, but we were all sort of doing it together. They're relic guitars, you can't tell. You know what? That's what I also thought, Mayor McCheese, until my friend Mike said he was buying a relic guitar for NAMM one year. And I was like, why are you buying this guitar for NAMM? He's like, by the end of NAMM, this guitar will be trashed. And I was like, there's no way. That is absurd. And lo and behold, the guitar was, in fact, trashed by the end of NAMM. And blues jams are sort of the same. Guitars are made to be played. It's fine. But they definitely wear in more in a way that you can tell. You just relic them more, tell them Tom Murphy's Keys did it and charge more. That's one way to think about it. But you never know. That's a funny thing, man. Like, we had a guy in yesterday, super nice guy, playing a bunch of Taylors, beating the heck out of them. And I know I'm going to go probably look at some of those guitars and see the little micro pig scratches, which some people say is not a big deal, but some people, it is a big deal. Then they want that stuff to be demoed or you. That's a whole different conversation, but it's the constant trick or the constant sort of weird balance of running a music store, because you want it to be open and not have to ask for, playing everything or not the nice stuff put away. Like that's part of the kind of charm here, I think, is you can come in and play anything. But some people either are beginner players or they're just not very self-aware and, they don't, they go a little hard on guitars that they're just trying out. And sometimes they go hard for like hours. They'll sit and play for hours. If you're going to buy an expensive guitar, you should be able to sit and play for hours. But until you buy it, you can't scrub your pick across the top of it as if, the world is ending. So anyways, it's just a funny little thing. Greg says he has the Epiphone Hummingbird, and it's great. A little heavy for an acoustic, but sounds and plays great. Leaf, were you asking about... I'll see if you were asking about... Do you guys have any favorite 12-string acoustics for under $1,000? I'm not sure where that 100 series Taylor sits right now. It's probably right at or a little over, like maybe $1,100. I can't remember. And there's been price changes, but man, that's a really, really, really good. It's hard to beat that, honestly, as far as how it plays, all that kind of stuff. JP, if you need me to slide to the middle or something, I can. I can slide over.
It's not picking up. I think it's the hat. You keep wearing it, but
I'll stop wearing my hats.
the face was not picking it up.
Man, thank you. I am ready for the Scotch Fund. God bless you. Yeah, man. When they were beating the guitar up and want to be kind, just say a sound limit and need to play lighter. Well, sometimes I just will nicely say, hey, man, maybe take it a little bit easier just to make sure we don't get some scratches on that thing. Sometimes I don't know. I feel like you can tell when that is when they're open to that. And sometimes it doesn't matter if they're open. You have to say it anyways, unfortunately. That's just part of the deal. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Spark Brain says, I've had many of both, but I tend to lean Martin over Taylor guitars for some reason. I think a lot of times I do too, but, man, it's hard to beat the Taylor. The Taylor 12 strings really are, that's where that sort of innovation and, engineering, modern engineering kind of wins out. The Taylor does a thing where those different size strings, they compensate the nut and the saddle so that instead of it being like the big string and then the little string is down below it, they make the top even so that when you're picking, you hit them both at the same time. And that sounds like a little thing, but man, it actually makes it really comfy to play. When you guys are going to start your own line of house guitars, you could be the next Chapman Guitars. I don't think that's on the horizon anytime soon, as fun as that sounds. Jonathan, thoughts on the Martin X series? Been thinking of one. Man, I used to not enjoy them at all, but I think they've gotten quite a bit better lately. So I tell you what, I'll play some of them. I'll play some this week. Ask me again next week on the live stream, and I'll have a better answer for you. But my general thought is that they're okay. They're not amazing, but they're okay. There's probably better things in that price range. But like I said, I do feel like they're improved a lot. So I'll play some and I need to play them anyway just for that, since obviously people are going to ask me these things. So I'll play them and just ask me again next week. But yeah. Man, that's good to know, Greg. Greg says that those Epiphone hummingbirds stack up well against his Gibsons, so that's cool. Do we have Gibsons in the shop yet? The Gibsons should be on the way. Well, not on the way, but they tell us October-ish we should be getting the first shipment. So, hopefully things will start trickling in next month, and then it's just how it all trickles in. So we shall see. Sean Brooks says, take a gamble with casino guitars. We had this guy tell us one time in an email, he got kind of upset about a thing, and it was really like the guitar, like the manufacturer. It wasn't really, and it was a shipping thing, and it was like, he waited so long. It was just a whole crazy thing. And he wrote us this crazy email, and he said, the house always wins, which I thought was kind of hilarious. And then for the longest time, Baxter and Sean and I would look at each other and be like, the house always wins. And it was kind of funny. But, I am ready. Yeah, this is Robert. Cool. So you had to let us know how the fly gig goes, and how the board works out. So, something fun to do in fly dates where you don't have an amp and you just got your little thing. Like, it's not my favorite thing. I wouldn't want to do it all the time, but it's neat for certain occasions. And I've actually probably got one of those coming up. I don't know if I can have an amp yet or not. I got to find out, but perhaps. But if I can take an amp, I'm thinking about, because I'm not flying, I actually am driving to this, but it just might be a silent stage. I'm thinking about taking a mini stereo rig, like doing my Supro Amulet and the baby M80 and running it wet dry, like I did with the Twilighter and the big M80 a few weeks ago, because I think that would kind of be amazing. And if that works, man, my two little mini amps, guitar on my back, little pedal board, maybe awesome. I don't need as many pedals when I run the two amps like that. It's just I end up not needing to stomp on as many, which is kind of cool. But yeah, you guys carry Gibson guitars. What about Gibson Mesa amps? I'm assuming that we can get the Mesa amps. I don't think we have any on order yet, but I think down the road we'll probably look at some, especially like I like the little California tweed one a lot. I like the Fillmore amps that Mesa makes a lot. Those are pretty awesome. So maybe at some point, we're pretty full up on amps right now. Like we about to put in a new 2-rock order. Just got a bunch of Magnetones, so be on the lookout for some videos and some shorts and things about those. Actually, probably lots of Magnetone stuff coming up. So just let me know, and we'll figure it out. Tom says, stereo guitar rig, the sound guy will hate me. That's what I'm going for, Tom. I want to just go ahead and get it over with, have him hate me right away. But they're small. They're tiny little amps. He is going to hate me. I probably will end up not doing it. I was going to ask him beforehand if it was cool. But it's multiple gigs, and once we set it up, we'll have to unset it up. So it should just be, mic both my little 10-inch speakers. I'm not switching between them either. They're like both always on. So call it a day. Call it a day. If you had a brand new time capsule Fender Custom Shop Telecaster with a couple finish cracks around the neck pocket in the lacquer, would that bother you, or would you just move on? It would not bother me, JMusic87. But I see a lot of them, and I'm pretty darn confident that, like, if it was my guitar, I'd be like, oh yeah, as long as I knew it was in the lacquer, you know, because it happens a lot right there. Now, you know, in the time capsule, the whole idea, right, is it's gonna age. But if you just got it and it does bother you, you know, reach out to wherever you got it from and see if they can. Fender should be able to maybe make that right. But yeah, it wouldn't bother me, honestly, if it was my guitar. So you just got to decide if it's one of those things though that you're like, I can't live with it, I'm gonna be up at night, or you're gonna sell a guitar that you'd otherwise love, then it's maybe worth getting looked at, or at least talking to somebody about, or at least talking to Fender. Maybe just getting, and what I've done for customers before is kind of give them the reassurance that if it turns out to be something, like, document it so that if it turns out to be something, you know, your worst nightmare, which it won't be, but if it does, some crazy off chance, it's not just checking and cracking the lacquer, it's like something more, and down the road you have problems, it's documented so that you're taken care of. Maybe that's the way to go if you're really thinking about it. So, you know, the fill button says the Baby M80. I think I told you that I checked on yours the other day, and we should be getting close to it being here. So, man, you're going to love it. It's going to be kind of awesome, I do believe. But anyways. Mighty Woodrow says, call me to demo any of the high gain Maces. Man, if we get any, that actually would be a lot of fun, and we will. And we got to get together too, dude. Now Sean's married, we got to do some jamming. I feel like we're at finally time to get our little project we've been talking about going. Most guitar channel shops seem to be dedicated to blues rockabilly. I rarely see anything about metal shredding. Is that the market speaking? Partly yes, but I think there's a ton of channels out there dedicating to metal and shredding. I think you just got to find them. If the other gets in your algorithm, that's all you'll see. And because I can think of a few that are, you know. In fact, when I go looking for demos and I don't type in like certain places, I just look for stuff. I have and I couldn't tell you the names of them because I don't really watch them. But no, I think there's a whole different subset that's metal and chuggy stuff. But yeah, and sometimes, not to like stereotype, but a lot of times I feel like some of those are dedicated to like maybe not quite as high end stuff. It's like if you're looking at super high end Gibsons and like custom shops and stuff, you tend to get the blues and the rockabilly. Unfortunately, there are lots of cool rockabilly ones though, more than you would think. Tom says, "Do you need a guitar tech? I am free." Ooh. Free isn't available, or free isn't it costs me nothing. Both are good. Hey, sometimes I do need a guitar tech. You should come guitar tech for us on October 11th. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Robert says, I'm being told to play silent and direct. First time for me, but that request is becoming the norm. It is sadly becoming more of the norm. Not everywhere. Depends on sort of what circles you're in, I guess. But you know, it's not the end of the world, man. There's some I've listened back to some of the stuff I've done with old Robbie Cummings, where I'm using the Tone X on a silent stage, and I mean, you know, it sounds really good. And in some cases, this all depends on the system and the sound and the engineer, the front of house guy. But sometimes better, because sometimes, you know, like there is an art to like miking a guitar cab and having it sound good, and you know, I mean, sometimes that stuff kind of takes all the guesswork out of it. So, you know, that's why I think that new little super amp, the Airwave thing, where you could have your tube amp on stage, assuming you're allowed to make noise on stage, and then still run those IRs from it to front of house. Stuff like that is sort of appealing to me, just because I know, but you know, it makes sense in a lot of ways. It's always, that's Shredding Finn is just saying that. It's always hard to get the right setup with a cabin microphone, half a dozen more variables right off. Yeah, for sure it is absolutely more variables. But man, when you nail it, it's awesome. And on stage, it just feels better, right? So, you know, you just got to decide, does that matter? If you want a relic, why does it matter if some stranger, a Gibson or some stranger playing live? Same result. I would kind of push back a little bit, Mayor, that it's not quite the same result. Not always. But anyways, what are you going to do? Anything else pressing? I don't know. Yeah, there seems to be some discussion about relicing the old guitars. Because I don't know that I would call, like, there's superficial relicing, damage, and then there's actual things that do sort of affect how it plays or feels in a negative way, I think. But anyways, the Spark Brain here. Take some sandpaper to my new 3K guitar. I'll pass. Could turn it into a 5K guitar. I'm just kidding. Mostly kidding. The relic thing, that'll be debated forever. I love them. It's hard to go back once you get the feel of those things. But what are you going to do? Have you seen the Brad Paisley relic video? Is that you talking about the Lost Paisley? Yes, I think it's kind of awesome. Relic is just a paint job. Some people like it, some people don't. It's like saying red guitars are bad. I'm kind of with Sean Brooks on that one. But anyways, Mayor McChee says, I'm definitely not impressed by Gibson's quality control, but if they both play well and you enjoy it at a blues jam and know it took damage there, I would think that's cool. It's cool to have real live wear. I will say a blues jam accelerates it, and it's not always like your own, like broken in, like, oh, I rubbed this spot. Like on my 335, right? I can look at the F hole and see where I have worn it. Like it was totally perfect when I got it. I have worn the finish off the little tip of the F in the F hole because that's where my arm rubs and sits all the time. And it's kind of neat, and it's neat to see that happened. But it's not like somebody gouged a piece out of it or, I don't know. It's just, you just kind of have to see it. But I promise, you let your guitar get played, be the pass-around guitar at a blues jam for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months. It's different. I just promise it is. But anyways, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, as always. Thanks to everyone. Sean's not here anymore, but thanks for wishing him congratulations and stuff on his wedding. Thanks for all of the really kind gifts you guys sent to him, monetary and otherwise. It was a pretty fantastic day. So, anyways, you guys rock. I appreciate you. Don't forget the giveaways going on. It is over on Monday, JP, is that right?
Yeah, it's
coming up over on Monday, so make sure that you guys get in on it. We are planning a giveaway for just you guys, for just the members. Well, I guess not everybody on here is a member, but maybe at some point, maybe I'll talk to JP that I don't know. I feel like this little community deserves their own giveaway as well, the live stream folks. So, but definitely one coming out for members soon, and we'll get that to you guys. We'll also get back to putting the videos up first for members. I think in our transition, that got kind of forgotten because Derek was doing that when I thought that was a really good idea. So we'll get that going too. But yeah, man, hit like, hit subscribe, share this thing so we can keep growing. We've been growing really well last little bit, and hit the bell so you don't miss stuff.